There are cities in the world that have been destroyed, burned, shattered, abandoned. But Carthage was none of these. Carthage was eliminated systematically, deliberately, and as if even its memory was meant to be erased from history itself. This was not the end of a war. This was the deliberate execution of a civilization. On this journey, we're doing something special. Using advanced artificial intelligence techniques, we've transformed ancient engravings and paintings into vivid, lifelike scenes. So you won't just hear history, you'll witness it as closely as possible. Carthage was founded in what is now northern Tunisia at one of the most strategic points of the Mediterranean. According to legend, it was established in 814 BC by the Phoenician queen Dido. What began as a small trading colony grew over centuries into a vast empire with the greatest naval power, the richest trade networks, and one of the most formidable armies in the Mediterranean. From Spain to Sicily, from Sardinia to deep into North Africa, Carthage ruled a sprawling world. And it shared the same sea with Rome. Two great powers inevitably collided. The First Punic War, beginning in 264 BC, gave rise to some of the largest naval battles of the ancient world. Rome had never fought like this at sea, but it learned, adapted, and won. Carthage retreated, but this was not yet the end, only the beginning of the end. Then a man emerged from Carthage, the son of Hannibal Barca. His name was Hannibal Barca. Hannibal Barca was one of the greatest military geniuses in history. In 218 BC, he set out from Spain, crossed the Alps with war elephants and 40,000 soldiers, and descended into Italy. He won at Trebia, he won at Lake Trasimene, and in 216 BC at Cannae, he annihilated 80,000 Roman soldiers in a single day, the bloodiest military disaster in Roman history. Panic spread through the Roman Senate. Some believed it was all over, but Rome did not surrender, because Rome was not made of people, it was made of an idea, a will. A young general, Scipio Africanus, changed the course of history. Instead of defending Rome, he chose to strike Carthage itself. He landed on the African coast and in 202 BC at the Battle of Zama defeated Hannibal for the first and only time. The Second Punic War ended. Carthage was forced to accept harsh terms. It would dismantle its fleet, give up its war elephants, and never wage war without Rome's permission. Carthage was no longer an empire, it was a city under Roman control. But that was not enough for Rome. The elderly senator, Cato the Elder, ended every speech with the same sentence, Ceterum censeo Carthaginem esse delendam. Furthermore, I consider that Carthage must be destroyed. No matter the topic, agriculture, taxes, aqueducts, Cato repeated these words. It was an obsession, and over time, that obsession became Rome's official policy. In 149 BC, Rome presented Carthage with impossible demands. Surrender your weapons, abandon your city, and rebuild it inland, out of sight. It was a death.
And the Third Punic War began. But this was not a war, it was a siege. An army of 80,000 Romans surrounded the walls of Carthage. Inside were nearly 400,000 people, soldiers, women, children, the elderly. No help would come. The Carthaginians turned temples into armories, cut their hair to make ropes for catapults, and transformed every street into a barricade. For 3 years, they did not surrender. 3 years. In 146 BC, the young Roman commander Scipio Africanus finally breached the walls. What followed was slaughter. Street by street, house by house, level by level. The Carthaginians fled to rooftops. The Romans burned buildings, collapsing them with people still inside. After 6 days and 6 nights of brutal urban warfare, 50,000 survivors were sold into slavery. The rest of the city was obliterated. Then, Carthage was set on fire. It burned for 17 days. Walls were torn down, temples destroyed, streets covered with salt so that nothing would ever grow again. The legend says salt was sown into the earth. Historians debate whether this truly happened, but its symbolic meaning is undeniable. Rome wanted to erase even the memory of Carthage. As he looked upon the burning city, Scipio Africanus wept. The historian Polybius asked him why. Scipio replied, "I thought that one day Rome too would be destroyed in the same way." This is one of the most profound moments of awareness in history. The man who erased a city from the map understood that his own city would one day suffer the same fate. Carthage was destroyed, but its story did not end. A century later, Julius Caesar, followed by Augustus, established a Roman colony on the same land. Today, near the capital of Tunisia, the ruins of Carthage still lie beneath the soil. Excavations continue to reveal new traces, harbors, temples, homes, and even the bones of children. You can erase a city from the map, but you can never erase it from history. See you in the past.